Welcome back to Rodecast, guys. Hope y'all doing well out there. I'm your host, Rod, as always. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the criticism aimed at Trump's immigration policy from the leader of the largest group of organized pedophiles in the world, the Pope, who has weighed in on how our immigration policy right now is inhuman treatment of immigrants. And by the way, it's not immigrants, it's illegals that ICE is targeting. But nevertheless, they want to equate illegals and legal immigrants. As we know, this is the part of the open borders mentality and agenda, really, or plan to equate people who break the law with people who legally enter countries. Now, I am not for any immigration, but most Americans are okay with legal immigration, okay? But they want to equate both, okay? So I was actually not even going to make a video today because I'm very tired and I'm overworked. But nevertheless, I wanted to weigh in on this before it passes in the news cycle because I am so sick of all the popes, most recent popes, at least the last three of them, have been open borders popes. And they want us to have open borders in our country and never reject a single illegal alien of any kind, it doesn't matter what kind of immigrant they are, we have to take them in according to this pope and the last one. Both of them were open borders. You know what's not open borders? Vatican City. That's right. Vatican City is closed borders. Nobody can just randomly immigrate there. No illegal can break in there. They have very tough laws and they violently remove people who try to break in. Okay. And they want to lecture America about how inhuman we are. Okay. And I'll show you all the evidence on this in a second, but let's take a look at what Leo here had to say.
For the first time since celebrating his inaugural Mass, the American Pope from Chicago weighing in on U.S. politics. Pope Leo seeming to criticize the Trump administration over the president's immigration policies.
Someone who says that I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhuman treatment of immigrants who are in the United States. I don't know if that's pro-life. So they're very complex issues. I don't know if anyone has all the truth on that.
Yeah, nobody needs all the truth. Here's the thing. Abortion has nothing whatsoever to do with immigration. Trying to equate those two is another tactic of trying to bring religious people to turn them against the immigration policy, the tough immigration policy, or the fair, I would say, following up the laws that Trump is trying to do. He's trying to use people's hatred towards abortion, which most people don't love abortion. Some people believe that women should have the power to do that because it's not our place to tell them what to do. But nevertheless, whatever your position, nobody is for abortion. Okay, even people who are pro-choice would rather women not have it because that's insane to want abortion. Nobody wants that unless they're psychos. But nevertheless, whatever your point of view on that is, that has nothing to do with immigration. Once again, they're just like they try to mix up illegal immigrants with illegal aliens. They try to mix up issues here. Look at this punk over here. He just tried to connect abortion to immigration, which has nothing to do with the other. Okay, those two things are not related issues at all. Not even a little bit, but he tried to just mix them together right now and attack Trump based on that.
That I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhuman treatment of immigrants who are in the United States. I don't know if that's pro-life. So they're very complex issues. I don't know if anyone has all the truth on them, but I would ask first and foremost that there be greater respect for one another.
The rare remarks.
No, here, let me make it simple for you. Illegals from other countries, foreign nationals, have no right to invade our borders. Okay, that's the truth. Let me give you some truth. Okay, so this guy here, his ancestors didn't build this country, so he has no love for America. He doesn't care about our borders. For people like myself, whose ancestors built this country, it's very simple. You don't get to raid my country. Okay, just like I don't get to raid your house, you don't get to raid my country. And for people who actually care about America, we don't want our borders raided by foreigners who we didn't invite here. It's not that complicated, Pope. And you should be much smarter than this since you're talking to God. Okay? Seems like he's an idiot who doesn't have any answers. That's what it seems to me. Maybe because you're not actually talking to any gods. Okay? But nevertheless, that's a decision for all of you to make who he's talking to. But anyways, this is the kind of stuff that's been coming out of the Vatican for a very long time. These are the open borders Christians I can't stand. Because people who expect all the European countries to open up our borders, let the whole world in, and destroy and muddle our own culture. Okay, no, thank you, Pope. Okay, now let's get to What's happening inside the Vatican, okay? No, the Vatican is not open to immigrants. It does not function as a refugee resettlement area. Yet he wants us, every single European country, Northern European country, is expected to let refugees come in, illegals come in, but he does not want to let it happen, okay? He can change policy. The Pope can influence the changing of policy of letting immigrants into the Vatican, okay? Basically, if you don't work there, if you don't have family there, if you don't have a permanent residence there, you can't move there. That's the law. Okay. And you have to go through Italy first, come through Italy for you need to have a passport for that. And then there's other restrictions to actually go and live in the Vatican, which very few people can do. Okay. So that's what the law is there. It is literally a closed borders institution, the Vatican, okay, Vatican City. And here's another article. This is from January of 2025. Vatican cracks down on illegal entry into its territory. It's almost like you want to maintain your sovereignty and your territorial integrity, and you don't want foreigners invading your land. It's almost like that. It's almost like that's the common sense position. Except if America does it, then it's inhuman for Mr. Leader of Pedophiles over here. Okay, so these are the standards that they expect us to live by.
Would there be greater respect for one another?
The rare remarks.
I have plenty of respect for people who actually obey the law. People who randomly invade my country, no, I don't have any respect for them. And no amount of chastising from you is going to change that situation.
Coming after his predecessor, Pope Francis also slammed the president's crackdown on illegal immigration. Tonight, the White House pushing back.
See, like I said, both this Pope and the last Pope are both against America maintaining our borders. They want us to be open borders. That's why they keep slamming our immigration policy. And that, by the way, I believe was in the first Trump administration, if I'm not mistaken.
Rare remarks coming after his predecessor, Pope Francis, also slammed the president's crackdown on illegal immigration. Tonight, the White House pushing back on Pope Leo's comments.
You've been very open about your Catholic faith. How do you respond to that?
I would reject there is inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the United States under this administration. There was, however, significant inhumane treatment of illegal immigrants in the previous administration as they were being trafficked and raped and beaten, and in many cases killed, over our United States southern border.
Pope Leo also said President Trump's rebranding of the Department of Defense to the Department of War was concerning. But he did show support for the president's proposed peace plan for Gaza, calling it...
Yeah, okay. So you guys get the point. And I was very disappointed to hear that she was a Catholic. I like her very much. I mean, people's religious beliefs don't really affect me. Like, I don't really give a damn too much. I mean, you can believe what you like. But I loved Caroline Leavitt, and I was very disappointed to find out she was Catholic. I was hoping she was at least a Protestant of some kind. But nevertheless, that's okay. I mean, I still like her. It doesn't change my views. But anyways, and let's talk about this human thing, okay? Inhumane thing. Inhumane is in the eyes of the beholder, okay? So for the left and for these open borders people, if you ever enforce any immigration law, it's automatically inhumane. So everybody has their own definition of what is inhuman. Okay. So some people might say putting people in cuffs, just putting people in cuffs and like dragging them away, which is what ICE is doing in a lot of cases. That's inhuman to them. Like that's what they call inhumane. So you can't do it according to that. So we can never arrest any criminals. We can never arrest people who break into our country. And we just have to let people roam free to do whatever they want, including criminals. That is the view of these people. Because if you ever arrest them, if you use any force against them for after they commit crimes, then we are wrong. Okay, that's what the Pope is saying basically, because that's what ICE is doing. They're arresting people who broke into our country illegally, and they have a problem with that. So we can't enforce any laws according to them. If we do, we're inhumane. Okay, how can we ever remove anybody if we can't arrest them and drag them away and then deport them? If you deport anybody, they call us inhumane. So this is why, like, people, especially Christians, they need to stop sucking up to these kind of people. Stop looking for the approval of these people. Okay, we need to protect our country. Forget about all these religious criticisms that come your way. Okay, because if you listen to them, nothing will ever end. Our whole country will be invaded for the rest of time, and we can't do anything. So we need to tell these people to F off. I don't like her response, which was very tame. She didn't actually criticize the stupid remarks by the Pope, because she can't. She's a Catholic, so she's, in a bind there. This is the problem with Christians. They're always in a bind, and they can't be too mean. If they are, then they feel like they're betraying something. So they've tied themselves to an ideology that actually destroys their countries, and they have to be silent and let it happen because Jesus said, love everybody. That's the excuse that they use for this ideology. Anyways, like I said, she's cool. I like Caroline Leavitt. I don't care about her religious beliefs. She's great. Been great so far. One of the best press secretaries ever, if not the best one. But anyways, you guys should not be tying yourself to this open borders belief system. That's my recommendation, to get away from that. But anyways, the Pope is an idiot, and most of them have been. They're horrible people. They should not be lecturing us on anything. When they have a place with closed borders, they should not be lecturing us about how we should have open borders. Okay, it's hilarious. The Vatican cracks down on illegals, but we can't do it. That's their point of view. Okay, if you want anybody to listen and take you serious, you're gonna have to, say things that are less stupid and hypocritical than that. But that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you so much for watching, as always, and I'll see you guys in my next one.